for the 11th patch session, join your hosts AJ Paredes and Diane Bauzon as they feature one of the corporate members of PICQS, Miss Bernadette Magsumbol. All the way from Qatar, she will unravel her APC Competency Development Model, a self-assessment tool for aspiring certified and chartered professionals. Are you ready to test yourself? All these and more on Saturday, 2nd April, 8 p.m. Manila time. See you!
Okay, good afternoon, good morning, and good evening, everyone. I'm Arlene Joy Paredes, or AJ, current president of PICQS Singapore, and I'm always delighted to be your host for Patch. So, Patch is PICQS APC Talks channel aiming to provide overviews about chartered and certified professionals' APC journey, PICQS structured training, and every quantity surveyor's road to becoming QS professionals to maximize their career potential. So, for those who are not so familiar with PICQS, Philippine Institute of Certified Quantity Surveyors is an all Filipino QS organization with a global reach. So, in a span of a decade, PICQS has formed 12 chapters around the globe in Philippines, UK, UAE, Oman, Qatar, Bahrain, KSA, North America, Singapore, New Zealand, Australia, and the recently formed chapter BIM Indochina. So our members are mostly QS trained engineers, architects, and other allied profession practicing the quantity surveying globally, and we have the structured trainings to patch up the required competencies towards exponential career growth. So this April marks our 11th patch session from its live launch last February 2021. So allow me to introduce my partner for this evening's session, whom you may have seen in some of the PICQS Global CPDs, as she's one of our regular hosts or moderator. So she's an associate member of PICQS and has worn a number of hats serving the organization voluntarily as communications head for PICQS Singapore, to name a few. So she is a well rounded, dedicated, and determined quantity surveyor with a background in civil engineering. So, without further ado, my dear friends, let us welcome in our virtual stage Engineer Diane May Baladad Bauzon. Okay. Hi, Diane. Good evening.
Hello, AJ, to our viewers around the globe, as well as the mentors, fellow APC candidates, and followers of the PICQS APC Talks channel. It is indeed a great privilege to be your partner host for the first time for this patch session, and
Yes.
I know that our guest will really give us a lot of takeaways, which will help us to achieve our goal to become certified QS professionals.
Indeed. So, Diane, today is the 11th session of Patch. And as you know,
Yes.
Patch is a product of the pandemic. So, and my being my partner for tonight, we have this time for a different goal. I mean, to give more information about APC and the assessment of professional competence and how it is, and the story of the candidates who have successfully completed and
Correct.
who are now chartered and certified professionals.
Yes, because the silver lining of the pandemic indeed opened the doors to opportunities to the majority as we faced the pandemic with resilience and adopted to the ways and means of the new normal. So PICQS has shown a great deal of resilience when it hosted the PAQS 2021 last year. So the first digital PAQS Congress, and we are grateful to everybody and congratulations to those who have seized the opportunities. And if you are watching this session live, pat yourselves on the back as you will be the first to witness the evening unveiling of the competency development model of our featured guest.
Yes, I'm equally excited for tonight. So, without further ado, why don't you do the honor of introducing our featured professional?
Yes, our featured professional for tonight is one of the founding members of PICQS with over 15 years of experience in various aspects of quantity surveying. She is versed in both pre and post contract project administration across different sectors in the built environment. Her educational background includes Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering from Mapua University, and Master's degree in Quantity Surveying from University of Salford. She has been part of DG Jones and Partners Qatar for 13 years now, a PICQS and RICS assessor, and a registered expert witness with RICS. As such, she's already been serving PICQS for over a decade now and has become the corporate secretary and head of GOMP for Qatar chapter. She's currently leading the Education and Certification Regulatory Board, or ECRB, and has been actively participating as subject matter expert for PICQS structured trainings and has co authored some of the syllabus for both structured trainings for other Philippine authority, like the Technical Education and Skills Development Authority, or TESDA. Let's all welcome Engineer Bernadette Magsumbol.
Yes. Good evening and welcome to Patch.
Good evening
Engineer
and good
Bernadette.
afternoon.
Hello,
Good afternoon in
good
Qatar.
evening sa inyo, good
Yes.
afternoon sa mga nasa Middle East.
Yes.
Thank you,
Yes.
Dayan. Thank you, AJ, for the warm welcome. And good day na lang para covered lahat. Kung sino yung nasa ganun
Yes.
silang
Yes.
panig ng mundo. Anyway, so it's nice to see you both again after 2 weeks of, since in a nutshell, diba? So
Yes.
I'm good to be invited again for Patch and be able to share this whatever share with everyone my career and APC journey, as well as share the competency model which I developed that will supplement the Filipino QS's journey to become chartered. So I
Correct.
hope they learn from this after this patch session.
Surely. Okay, it's really nice to have you here in Patch this time for a different type of or sharing. So now we're going to learn more about your APC journey, and it's nice to have both of you and me, all three of us together in one studio in three different locations and two different time zones. So having you in Qatar, which is 5 hours behind from
Yes.
Philippines and
Peace in
Singapore.
Singapore.
Yes.
Yes, I totally agree with you with that, AJ. Actually, this pandemic has made us reach more people globally, like Bernadette here,
Yeah.
whom we are truly privileged to have here tonight in Batch. So, in the previous session, we have outlined the different competencies and the levels required as we demonstrate our competency levels. In this session, a competency model will be highlighted of the presentation, which will be shared by our featured guests later on.
Yes. Okay. So without further ado, why don't we check out Car- Bernadette's? Okay. So I we've been meaning to ask. The first question for tonight is, what led you to become a quantity surveyor?
Okay, so mid 1990s, I started right after graduation. I started with Davis Langdon and Saya. Everyone knows
Mhm.
it's called DLS or DL, DLF. And most probably quantity surveyors that you're working with right now, or you might be common friends who's already in their 40s and older or late 30s. They most likely they started with Davis Langdon. So when I started
Mhm.
during that time, when I was with DLS, I didn't work as a quantity surveyor, but I worked as a researcher. But they call me as the librarian. So I have a small room. Everyone knows me as Bernadette or Badette, the librarian. So imagine, on the side, on the side note, comment lang. Imagine their surprise when they realize, oh, si Badette is now chartered QS and now heads PICQS ECRB.
ECRB.
Anyway,
Wow.
so after Davis Langdon, I worked for a government agency who's like a that's like a project management office. And a few years after that, I went to a consulting firm in Bahrain, US consulting firm. Then after Bahrain, Qatar. So my employment with Davis Langdon has led me to be a quantity surveyor. Opened my world to quantity surveying basically. So yun.
Right. So and then
Yeah.
it became your passion. When
Mm.
you get to know about quantity surveying with DLS, it became your passion.
Well, not after a few years pa, no? When I started with,
Mm.
working at QSQS. Because previously it's
Yes,
like,
yes, yes.
okay lang, yeah. Pero, as years go by and then you realize, oh, there's more to this, I want to know more. Then,
Mm.
yeah. So it has become, yeah,
Oh.
passion, you can say that. Otherwise, you will not be enjoying, you will not be motivated to work and, always look forward to the day. If you don't have that passion, if you don't enjoy what you do. Mm.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so what do you consider as your turning point in your career?
Again, the turning point would be like a few years working as a quantity surveyor. Probably started when was already in Bahrain. And, I wanted to know about quantity surveying. Normally, you'll just be relegated to doing limited tasks. I want to know more. I want to improve because I know I have a lot to offer than what's being expected from me. Like, simple things. Because I know I can contribute more. That's why I enrolled and registered for another degree in quantity surveying, which is the master's degree. But it took me a few years more after that, after
Mm.
Bahrain experience.
Okay. So from Philippines
Yeah.
DLS, you went to Bahrain.
Lorraine.
No, Philippines, DLS, and then I went to a government agency na
Government agency for government.
majority majority of what I know and I share, I learned from that government agency. Ah. So, hindi siya yung typical government agency na naririnig lang natin. So, after that, from that government agency, I went to Bahrain, then from Bahrain to Qatar na. So, it's only like four companies. I stayed
Wow.
more than five in each company.
You're staying more in one company.
Yun,
That's
nasa.
legit. That's nice. Okay. So, but what do you find
Um,
interesting in your career journey? Looking at it in a nutshell.
interesting. Interesting. Nothing really stands out other than, when you work with different groups, different people, different projects. So there's always interesting set of people, interesting personalities, interesting work culture, interesting projects. So overall, the differences between these groups of people, the working culture, you learn a lot from these differences. And so that's what makes my job interesting as a quantity surveyor. You can be doing the same job, the same project, say a commercial building, 50 stories, but because of this different set of people, different set of different contract, different set of personalities involved.
Indeed.
So it makes the work interesting,
Yeah.
and you learn a lot,
I
not just the
I really
technical
agree
side,
with that.
professional, mm,
Yes. We can
professional,
totally relate.
emotional, psychological.
Yes.
But did
So,
you feel any sort of, discrimination? I mean, being a woman in the field of men and
Construction.
in the field of construction, and not to mention you are in, you are in Bahrain,
mm,
Mm. Male dominant country.
the
well,
dominant.
Yeah.
oh, definitely meron. But in the office, not really, because it's like a Western cultured company, so women are treated more equal. But of course,
Mm.
there's um, discrimination is really part and parcel of being, in the job. Part and parcel of
Oh,
being quantity survey, even in other countries, there's always discrimination, but the
Mm.
impact varies. But what I experienced well, not recently, probably a year ago, when I was at the meeting, I was the only woman, female,
Mm.
being in that room. It's a big room, and they're all speaking in Arabic. I told my boss, why would you want me to join that meeting? They're all speaking in Arabic, and I don't understand. Oh, just sit there. Uh, Take note of what you can get from that meeting. Okay. And then the client, I don't know what happened, but the client told me, why are you here? You should not be joining this meeting.
Mm.
So, oh, you stay, you stay until the meeting finishes, and then wala
yes.
lang.
It
Continue.
happens.
Be professional. You have to suck it
Yes.
up, I said.
Correct. But you just
Ganun
have to
talaga.
face it and say whatever. Okay, like, I'm just
Ano
doing
nga
my
lang,
job. So
there and
Mm.
uh, Minsan hindi,
Yes,
minsan hindi ka puwedeng mag-ano kasi kung yun yung client, eh. You can't
uh,
talk
Mm.
back
of
even if you
course.
wanted to. So, yung sabi nga nila 'di ba, bear and green. You just have to bear and green.
Very and
Gano'n pala,
green.
Correct.
bear
Okay,
and green.
before we proceed to the next
Pagkatapos nilang
part,
araw.
we somebody is with us now live and would like, let's make a shout out to Mr. Juan Ponce Bernardo. Okay, good day and thank you for sharing. Thank you for watching and thank you
Thank
for
you, Mr.
Hello,
yeah,
Juan.
in
Ponce
your
Bernardo.
weekend. Okay, so now that we had a glimpse of what transpired during, it's just a very brief background of what transpired during in Bernadette's career journey. So why don't we delve deeper and check out about her.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of preparations needed, and we should be serious about it, right?
Yes, we should be we should be
Serious.
very serious about it, because APC preparation, this is where we will get most of the tips that how what transpired and how did she prepare for it, how long was it. Every journey is unique, just like every construction project is unique. So why don't you
Definitely.
tell us more about the technicalities and your timeline of your APC preparation, writing your statement of experience, doing mock case study, the deadlines, not to mention you were doing your job, right, as a QS. And so how did you balance all these things?
And I have family. So, mas
Mm.
mahirap
Yes, and you
i-balance.
have
So,
family, of
my
course.
Mm.
preparation, mm, yeah. So, my APC preparation took me 2 years, from
Wow.
2013 to 2015, simply because I was doing my master's at the time. And so the preparation is like on and off, on and off. I wasn't really concerned about the deadline of submission because first I want to like pull everything together. And then second, it's very difficult to write or draft your case study and your statement of experience or the summary of competencies simultaneously. It's we don't have any guide, and the guide that I have during that time was only the RICS APC guideline. And I remember having to find someone to, outside the Filipino community to do the review with me for the APC and help me prepare for the APC. And although we have P3P and POP 1 during that time, honestly, I felt it was not enough. And still, PICQS still like baby steps, no? Infancy stage pa. So, not fully established pa yung paano yung, although meron namang may mga materials na very good yun. So, pero yung, in terms of like helping everyone to get through this journey of the APC preparation until you get the chartership or certification, wala pa nung time na yun. So, our members right now should grab the opportunity of this PICQ structure training because it will really help them a lot. So it's just a matter of uh, you, for example, or all other members to make the most of what PICQS offers because malaking tulong siya sa inyong journey. Structure training.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, I keep on reminding every time, every membership interviews that I have conducted, that they are very lucky to be members of the PICQS because the PICQS will really help them in their career journey. So, can you share with us what was your case study about?
My case study is only simple. It's just about interim payment. So everyone can relate, no? Most of the
Yeah.
IQSS have done interim payment. So the issue is that the employer has imposed an interim methodology which affected the client, the contractor's cash flow, and the consultant's resources, and overall the program. So because of that, because of the effects of what the employer asked the contractor to do, we have to find a way to, you have to find a way to think. We have to find other methodologies of payment, discussing advantages and disadvantages of one option to the other, while ensuring that the concerns of the employer is addressed, and at the same time you protect the client's interest and his and the employer's concerns. At the same time, you also protect contractors' interest. So it's like a win-win situation. So you have to find that balance. So yeah, that's just my
It's
that's
interesting.
basically in a nutshell my case study.
That's very interesting case study,
Yeah.
and look, having hearing about your perspective on how you need to balance the interest of all the stakeholders of a project. It gives us,
Mm,
the vision of what a true quantity surveyor is. I mean, it's not just about doing the interim payment and paying the subcontractors in time, not facing the
mm,
SOP, or the adjudication and all other forms of conflicts with the other stakeholders. But it's really good to share that you have this mindset, because it would help and open the minds of other quantity surveyors how important their job is. Okay, so we have been talking about
mm,
these how you are facing your APC journey, and then your case study. And at the time you mentioned about PICQS doing baby steps. So maybe we can take a look at what is the PICQS role in your APC journey, given that you're both growing at the time
mm,
and you're having your masteral.
mm.
Yeah. So APC, PICQS
Okay.
role.
The role
Yes.
of
Okay.
PICQS. So during that time, we're doing baby steps. Probably because APC, PICQS has given me like direction. Like these are the competencies. We have the PPT and the PAP. So more or less, I have an idea of what are expected from each competency. But the rest is like, yeah, during that time now, wala pang fully set up na APC that like what we have now. We have the GAP, PAP2, PMLA. We don't have that yet during the time. So, but in general, PICQS has given me direction of all the competencies required for level
Mm.
one, level two, and P3T and to P3T and PAP1. But for in general, the role of what PICQS has contributed to my growth in general because all this opportunity that they've given me to be able to teach and share what I know about marketing based on my experience. And as they say, the best way to learn is to teach. And when you learn,
Yeah.
and when you teach, you learn, and then you unlearn things, and then you relearn. So that's the impact I think of PICQS in my career. Oh, galing. Yeah, but that's
So,
true.
so at the time when you were with, but you at the time when you were doing your APC, you're already with PICQS.
Oo, yeah,
You were
2011.
the founding member,
2011,
so
PSCQ started.
2011, yes. Mhm.
13 to 15.
So they
2011, so
helped
I
you
started my preparation 2013, 2015.
2013.
13.
Yes.
So
They're
2
like
years
your
pa
audience.
lang.
Mm. Did you do like mock interviews with Chair Julie or the other members?
The
You
other
were in Bahrain, no?
members.
Not so many members at the time in
No, no,
Bahrain.
Qatar,
Bahrain.
Qatar na. No, no, nasa
Ah,
Qatar na
you're
ako
already
noon.
in Qatar. Okay.
Oo.
Oh.
Ano,
Got.
during that time, may mock interviews nga sa UAE. But hindi pa siya
Oh.
cascaded sa ibang chapter, Qatar chapter. I tingin ko, nalimutan ko, parang gano'n. Hindi pa siya cascaded yung mock interviews sa ibang chapters sa
Mm.
2013. But yung mga
Mm-mm.
friends ko na people I've met and I've become friends with, good friends with sa PICQS, they helped me with my mock interview. Yung kami-kami
Yes.
lang, and then one of my good friends has hooked me up with one APC parang mock interview sa Indian community.
Uh-uh.
So, kaya
Wow,
parang
okay.
may exposure ako sa kung paano sila magtanong na iba yung accent, iba yung way of,
Yes. Mm.
uh, iba yung
Wow.
method ng question. Kasi normally, pag Pilipino sa Pilipino, nagkakaintindihan tayo, di ba? Ang line of questioning natin iisa. Pero pag
Yes, yes.
napunta ka sa ibang community, iba ang questioning nila na hindi mo rin alam kung ano talaga ang gusto nila. Pero kailangan mo masanay ka doon na kasi during APC naman, hindi ka pwedeng mamili. So, it will be a surprise, parang sino yung mga assessor mo, yung mga panel na nasa panel mo. So, malaking tulong yun sa akin na ano nila ako, ni-link nila ako doon, ni-refer nila pala
Mm-mm.
ako. For free.
For free.
For
Kaya,
free.
yun.
Yeah. That's the best part. It's
Ano
for
mo,
free.
ano ko rin pala, shout out ulit kay Johnny. Si Johnny na president natin ng PICQS, siya yung nag-refer sa akin dun sa, sa Indian community na mag-mock interview. Na grabe yung, ano ko, grabe yung
Wow.
nervous ko. Na sinabi na sa akin, mag-practice ka pa, kulang pa yan. Kasi nanginginig yung kamay ko, yung sing-sing ko, ganyan ako ng ganyan habang nagsasalita. Ballpen ko, ginagano. May nag ba sa engineering ba kasi yung ginagano yung ballpen? Yung mga ganun,
Oo.
mga ganun. Pero yun,
Wow.
magandang experience yun. Yung
So it's
experience.
really it was a development in progress. You have your critics around you and
Mm.
they're giving you constructive criticisms to develop and be able to face the panel of assessors.
Yes. And people that she don't know. Literally, she don't know. That's why she's very
Correct.
nervous as well. And the
Total
accent is
stranger.
different.
Mm,
Yes.
mm.
She's very
Total
good.
Definitely.
stranger.
Mm.
Imagine total stranger. Yung
Yes.
appreciation,
Mm,
how they appreciate your submission is different. So, ang line of
Mm.
questionings are also different and difficult.
correct, correct.
So,
And
yun.
hearing
Very
about
interesting.
the since that time we only have the P3T and PAP1, you're on your own
Mm.
when you're writing your statement
The
of
right.
experience
Mm.
because we
Mm,
don't have GAMP yet.
mm,
So I think that's another reason
mm,
why
parang
Oh.
you
ganun.
come up with this model, no? Which we are going to
Yes.
discuss later. But before we move to that part, somebody wants to
Mm.
greet Madam Badet.
Madam Badet
Ako si
looks
June.
younger today.
June. Filter yan. Filter. The power of filter.
Power filter. Okay.
The
So
power
there
of
you have
filter
it, the part
ganyan.
we're in. What was the help that we were able to get, or
Yeah.
that Bernadette was able to get out of PICQS, or having just any group of network of people going towards the same goal? I think that one is
Yes.
very important.
Success.
Correct.
Yeah.
You will definitely achieve success. So now let's move on to the next part of our program, which is this one.
Yes. So now we are talking about the benefits.
Correct. The
Yes.
benefits. So you have
Yes.
completed already. So,
So
yeah,
what
go
are
ahead.
the changes happened to your career after passing the APC?
Well, ano ba to? Fortunately or unfortunately, more responsibilities.
Fortunately,
Deeper, they
More
expect a lot from
responsibility.
you.
fortunately or
So,
Is that a
unfortunately.
good problem?
good, yes, and well, no, titingnan mo, good pa rin siya, no? Because if you have more responsibility, you have
Yes.
deeper involvement in projects, yung experience mo, it will be a rich and enriching experience, Mas
And
maganda
the
ang
trust
Correct.
experience mo.
given to
Pwede,
you by your
this
boss,
time
right?
parang,
It's
di ba, nakaka-stress. But when you look back, you're a better QS now than yesterday
Mm.
Indeed.
because
Agree.
of all the
It's like,
QS experience.
it's correct. It's like joining a raffle draw. The more challenges you have, the more
The more
chances of
chances of winning.
learning. Okay.
Yes,
Oh,
definitely.
I think we have a live question here, and
Oh,
why don't we raise it from Ramon Felipe Pan? How long have been your journey towards MRICS?
yes.
Well, the journey would probably start when I become a quantity surveyor, like officially a quantity surveyor
Great
employee.
answer.
So
Correct,
that's
correct.
that's the journey. You can say the journey would just be from the preparation of the document because all your experiences or what you've learned, everything is the APC is just a culmination of all the things that you've learned from the start, no? From
Summary,
everything you've
right?
learned, all the
Agree.
experiences. So the whole journey to becoming chartered is really from probably when I started with Davis Landon because it
Mm-hmm.
opened my world to quantity surveying while I wasn't a
Okay.
quantity surveyor back then. So that's well for me that's my journey,
How
and it's an
long have
ongoing
that
journey.
been?
It doesn't stop
Uh,
How
when you
long that
become a
have
chartered.
been?
so I think, yes, I think his
20 plus years.
question has like two parts. The
Mm.
QS, the journey towards MRICS, indeed it
And
has to start from the moment that you started the quantity surveying
yes,
practice, correct? But then when
Mm,
I think his another question is
how
towards the
long?
MRICS
Yes, how
chartered
long is the journey?
professional would be the
two
moment that
years.
you enrolled in
2 years.
APC.
Mm.
So that's
Mm,
2 years, right?
Yes, 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
I didn't enroll yet, huh? I
I
didn't
didn't
enroll
enroll
yet in
yet.
2 years. This is what I advise to all the members who want to who wants to become chartered or certified. This is just my personal suggestion
Take.
advice. Don't
Uh,
enroll yet because if you enroll, you already have to pay
Yeah.
subscription fee. What
200
if you
plus.
don't?
Yes.
If I enroll now and then I wasn't able to prepare my case study and the statement of competencies, then the following year I have to pay for the subscription fee of I think it's 100
Beep,
1,000
beep,
million.
beep.
So
Beep, beep, beep. Ouch.
so better prepare everything and then once you think you close. So once you're prepared, more or less,
Ouch.
then
That's the
that's the
time.
time you um, parang being practical lang.
Correct. I
Yeah.
Yes.
couldn't agree more. If that's the case, I
Mm.
would have been able to save about, yeah, times
Yeah.
four.
Mm. Yeah.
Hindi the same.
Oh,
Okay, so then looking at the benefits now that you're a chartered professional, what do you look forward to, or how do you see yourself 5 years from now?
5 years from now, I'll still be a quantity surveyor, but a lot better than today. I'll
Wow.
probably join the academe. I want to join the academe and do
mm.
research work. So when I
Mm-hmm.
do research, it's like coming full circle. I started as a researcher, then I'll end up being an academic or an industry researcher. So I've come full circle. Nice now.
Nice.
Yes. Your passion for teaching is running through your veins.
Yeah.
Oo nga, hindi ko na-realize na nag-enjoy pala ako.
It's teaching.
But it's nice because
Mm.
you accumulated the experience, you accumulated knowledge, and then you have even more than enough to be able to share to many people. And it's really nice. Side note on how we get to have Miss Bernadette here in Patch today. I was able to feel her sincerity that she wanted to share this APC competency model, and later you'll find out why. you know um she said she's been having this in her books, or in her as a write up, as a study, but she doesn't have a medium to share it. And we are very thankful that you are sharing it
Yes.
here with us in Patch. So why don't we not prolong this moment and give them a gist of, and have them present your APC competency model. Okay, but before the actual presentation, I would like to share with you a 2 minute overview, or a refresher to some of us, on what are the QS competencies. Okay, so here it goes. Okay, there you have it. That's the 2 minute
Okay.
overview of
Uh,
quantity surveying and the competencies. Yeah. So now let's move on to the
can you see
presentation
my
of the
screen?
APC competency model. Yes, go ahead.
Can you see my screen now?
You can share it there. Let me add it to our
Okay.
stream.
Na-share ko na. Nakita niyo na?
Not yet. Hold on. Okay. There. And now the floor is yours, Bernadette, to
Okay.
share the competency development model.
So now can you clearly see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. So hi again, everyone. So what I would like to present to you is a visual model that I've developed for Filipino, particularly Filipino quantity surveyors who are interested in becoming chartered. Okay, just to give you a brief background. So this RICS competency model has been extracted from my dissertation paper, The Filipino Civil Engineer as a Quantity Surveyor, an analysis of quantity surveying skills, competencies, and knowledge gaps. So within this research, I've conducted a survey among the members of PICQS, and the questions about the Filipino quantity surveyors' perception of their own quantity surveying skills and competency. So one of the questions asked was, how does one become chartered? Out of the 94 respondents, 50% did not know how to become chartered. And it's ironic because we already have the PICQS structured training program in place. So what's wrong? And so probably then I realized maybe this has to be a model created so that will provide additional support for members who wants to get chartered. No, it's just like at the top up. Consider this like as a top up training program or training information. Next. Okay, so if you're already an RICS candidate or you plan to be an APC candidate in the next few years, next year and the next few years, most likely you're already familiar with the RICS competency levels. So we have level one for knowing, level two application, doing, level three advising or giving reasoned advice. When you look at these three levels, most Filipinos, when I went back to my survey, most of our members, when asked about how do they perceive themselves as which competency level do they think that they've already achieved. So most Filipinos responded that they think they're level two. They've already reached level two competency because they can do payments, they can assessment of variation, they can prepare estimates, they can do BOQs, and etc. And it's right, but not really quite right yet. Okay, so then I'll give you another example on the right hand of your screen. So this information came from one of the RICS assessor's note. You see an inverted triangle. So the inverted triangle, so level one, they said that you should be asking questions from starting with, okay, what do you? For level two, why did you? Because it's doing. And level three, how would you advise? But what is not clear within this triangle, what is not clear in this figure here on the right side is what does this triangle represent? And how does one level relate to the next level? What's their relationship to one another? It appears that they're all standalone competencies. Okay, so this made me think, okay, I think we should modify this. Okay, then, okay, when I developed the model, I used the same triangle. only now that this is only now the triangles upright. Okay, so I've also split them into three tiers or three sections, and each section is uh, is linked to the competency level. Now, if you look at the first level, level one, that's the topmost tier, right? So the topmost tier has we've assigned descriptors to this level, knows and knows how, meaning you know what the principle is about, you know how to do it in theory. So uh, by understanding these descriptors here, you know that you have already achieved level one. If you know how to do it in principle, and you know how do you describe a certain principle, you understand the foundation, you'll realize that you'll know that you already reached level one. Then when you go to level two, the next level will be the next level is level two application. Then it's just a matter of the descriptors, the knows and the knows how, getting carried down to the next level. Okay, and then you just add the shows how. Shows how meaning this is about doing the actual work, like based on actual experience. So that's application. When you Now, if I ask you now, do you consider yourself as level two? Given this model, maybe, just maybe, you'll realize maybe not, because I'm still deficient when it comes to the knows and the knows how. Yes, I know how to do the work, but when it comes to knows and knows how, there's still a gap that we're trying to address. So you can't really say that you've already reached level two. But if you attend PICQS structured training, then definitely P3P addresses level one, and on level two, it addresses how to do exercises, things that you normally do at work. It's being reinforced to top one. And if you've done that, you've done P3P and then you've done top one. So definitely you've already achieved level two. So when you get to level three, well, this is what I would say, that it's a culmination of what you've learned, what you've experienced, uh, and yeah, all through the years. So you can see the relationship. You cannot say you already can give reason advice, but you've skipped the you've skipped the levels of knows and knows how. And uh, earlier also, someone asked about, okay, what's the difference between the shows how, or does, or show and do, or yeah, show and do, or shows how and does. The difference, there's no really difference. Technically, they're the same, but on the context of this model, the does is by definition is what's expected of you as a chartered surveyor. So you'll be able to manage. You can give justification. You can give advice. So does is uh, that's how does is defined in the context of this model. So you'll see from being a quantity surveyor up to being a chartered surveyor, you have to go through all these competencies. And I hope these descriptors will help you assess where you are right now at the moment. Can you still consider yourself as level two? Maybe you're already at level three, you just don't realize it. So I hope this will
Mm.
help you assess where you're at the moment, or at this point in time in your career, or when you're doing your APC training or preparation. Then my next slide would be the okay. So now that you have the model, what I would like you to do is I'll walk you through the model verbs. So what are these model verbs? So these model verbs will serve as a guide when you do your either when you do your APC statement, when you do your APC interview or Q&A, sorry, your Q&A with your colleagues, or when you do your review, or even when you're writing your competencies. So for example, for level one, we all know level one is knowing. So you use verbs such as define, describe, enumerate, outline, name, classify, explain, differentiate, etc. So these verbs will help you at least start with your when you draft your competencies. Because okay, how do you define procurement? So you will write your level one, procurement is about blah blah blah, cost estimating is this. So So just use all these verbs to help you draft your statements. And then when you go to level two, the guiding verbs will be show, simplify, price, calculate, conduct, prepare, determine, implement, etc. Okay, so you see the difference of the verbs. Each set of verbs responds to a level of competency. Hindi mo siya pwedeng i-mix. Well, pwede, pero normally you see that they're um, boxed into each competency level. And also when you do level three, this is where you advise, you resolve, you develop, you prescribe, you conclude, revise, evaluate, and justify. So I hope this model first will help you when you do your presentation, when you do your statements of competencies or statement of experience, when you do your Q&A, and in your overall review or preparation. Next, oops, naghang. Okay, so for example, okay, so when you do your statement or summary of experience or statement of competencies, let's take, for example, procurement and tendering. So level one would be knowing, knows, and knows how. No? Those are the descriptors we're using. And for level two, shows how. And level three, it's a combination of shows how and does. So saan pumapasok yung modal verbs natin? For example, for level one, can I define, when you do your own review and assessment, can I define procurement? How do I differentiate procurement from tendering? Can I name the different procurement routes? So all these three would fit into your level one summary of experience. See, you define what procurement is, you differentiate what procurement, you can differentiate procurement from tendering, or you can name the different procurement routes. Then on level two, you see the line of questioning, the type of questions we ask. So how do I price tenders? How do I put
Mm.
together or prepare a tender document? How to conduct two-stage tendering. So if you're able to explain all these three questions here in your competency statement, then that hits the target of achieving level two competency, at least in writing, because the actual assessment will be during the APC final interview. And on level three, now we go to level three. So level three, look at the verbs that we've used to as an example. How do I resolve the issue of failed tendering? What type of procurement strategy would I advise the client? How do I justify my recommended action plan to the client? So see, all different sets of verbs will respond to the level of competency. So so I hope these verbs and the model verb and the competency model will help you in your preparation. And this goes well with the RICS. Sorry, and this model and the model verb goes well with the structured training offered by PICQ. This is not a standalone
Yes.
training or information for you to prepare. They go hand in hand. So palagi silang magka-partner. Sana magka-partner at sana gawin niyo siyang partner. Structured training and this
Yeah.
model. And
Yes.
definitely will this help. Well, I hope it will help you. So
Of
yeah,
course,
this is my
definitely. Mm.
competency model.
Yeah, it's like a 10-minute CPD, right? In doing our own SOEs. Very short and very concise on understanding on what we need to
Oh,
do on our own SOEs. Miss Bernadette, I just want to just there's another question in mind that because the RICS model is in an inverted triangle. Why did you suddenly change it to an upright triangle? Is there
oh.
a reason behind that?
Because I
Maybe we
don't
can go
understand
back
why
to the
they need an
slide.
Yes,
no, I don't
we can go back
understand
to
the
the slide.
reason why they put an advert triangle. It should be an upright. So if we go back to the slides. Okay, sandali ah.
Yeah, from the inverted triangle.
Well,
Yes. Or
first
we
is
don't know the
the
reason why
uh,
RICS used the inverted one.
uh, Yeah, basically hindi ko kasi rin maintindihan kung bakit inverted triangle. I'm sure there's a reason behind it, but no one really like made an effort to explain why is it inverted, or no one even asked why it's inverted. And and even if you look at this, what's the relationship of one, two, and three? No, you don't see the
Mm,
relationship. Para siyang stand-alone lang na competency level.
Yeah. Why do
And
you, what do
as
you,
you, and if you go, I'll change ha, papalik ako. Balik tayo sa next lesson.
go ahead. But maybe
And you
I
can
can share a bit on the inverted triangle. It's because when we go and review the
uh,
theoretical aspect of quantity surveying, it's a load full of
lot?
information. And then when
Yes.
you go to level two,
uh,
you will be choosing the path. I mean, which work are you in? Are you working for a contractor? Are you working for a client? Or are you working for the
uh,
consultant? So
Consultant.
it narrows down. And then when you go for advising, your triangle will become steeper because your advice will be limited to what your expertise is from those years that you have in practice. No, I think that's something that maybe the
Mm.
inverted
The
triangle
reason.
model is about. But the upright triangle that Bernadette is showing us is also something that's really helpful, and it can really guide us and
um,
show us the relationship amongst
Of
these
the
three
three.
levels. Yeah,
Yes.
go ahead, Miss Bernadette.
mm,
Because it's heavier on the last part because you need to
yeah,
know all the three,
yeah,
the
maybe,
relationship.
yeah,
Yes.
Okay, can you hear us?
Hello?
I think there's a
Technical glitch on
yes
okay.
the
on
So
network.
maybe, correct ka dun sa triangle, inverted triangle, you're correct na mas marami info ang level 1 kasi basic foundation. But in terms of achieving, you start with the basics, and then yeah, you start with the basics.
I think maybe
Mm,
we can try
okay.
to remove first your slide
So,
because
okay
we're
now.
losing a bit
Can
of
I continue na?
yeah.
Bandwidth.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
go ahead. The network becomes laggy, at some point.
Yes.
Yes, okay. So okay. Miss Bernadette, you can just talk when you think that your line is okay. If you can hear us.
Can you hear us?
Mm.
There.
Yes. I think
We
she's coming
Okay.
back.
have
Okay,
okay.
so yung explanation about the inverted triangle, maybe you're correct, no? But I'm trying to relate the triangle to how we advance, how we develop as a con-
So I think yes,
Can I just stop the screen sharing? Stop screen
go ahead,
sharing.
Miss Bernadette. Your screen is
Okay.
no longer in our studio.
So okay na. So I can
Mm,
continue na. Okay. Hmm.
mm.
Okay. Mm. So the inverted triangle, as AJ explained, probably you're correct. I'm just trying to relate the triangle to how we develop as a quantity surveyor, particularly the Filipino quantity surveyor. It's important that you can visualize how you develop, starting with what you know, with the limited, say, the background, the foundation of quantity surveying principle, and then as you go along, as you take more in experience, the triangle goes bigger and bigger.
Correct. Yes,
I
yes.
can still see you though.
Agree. I mean, even though the network is quite laggy from Bernadette's
Can I
end,
leave and
we
then enter
understand.
again? Like,
Yeah, we can clearly understand all your statement, but your video is a bit laggy, but the whole statement is
oh
clear
no.
on our side. Yes.
Oh, and Angela agrees. Yes po. I don't know. Okay. So yes, it's about the interpretation, of the inverted and the upright triangle, but both are correct. And I mean, the development of Bernadette's upright triangle here is something that's really going to help us as we develop our statement of experience. Note to note, I mean, I think we can share that as you write your SOEs, we have to relate level one level 1 to level 3 if you're talking about one competency that is that we are about to write until level 3. It's good to note that the relationship amongst these three levels should be expounded as you provide your statement of experience. And clearly, her upright triangle also explains how we gain knowledge through theories, through actions, or through our experience, and even further when we give advice to our clients or other stakeholders.
Yes.
Miss Bernadette, are you okay now? Mic test. Still having some network issues. So why don't we just pause for a few minutes, a 2 minute break, wherein we would like to share with you an overview on the competencies again to refresh you all. Okay, there you have it. Can we do a mic test? I think you're back.
Still a bit laggy. Can you hear us?
Can you hear us, Miss Badette? Okay, I think we can pause for and present some ads for our viewers here for the global CPD that we offer for April and May. We are going to have contract administration and management FIDIC series that would be on April 15, and this will be conducted by our very own Miss Asuncion Lopez. And hold
Yes,
on.
on May
I'm back.
28th. Yeah.
Oh,
Hello?
there, Miss Bernadette, you're back.
Yes, I'm
Okay,
back.
Okay,
Can you
we
hear me?
good.
we can
Can.
hear you, yes. But your video is still lagging.
Mm-hmm. Loud and clear.
Okay.
Okay, we just continue first
Mm-hmm.
with
Yes,
the
loud and
announcement
clear.
of the CPD. So on May 28th, 2022, that's Saturday, we will have Sustainability and Built Environment, of course, by our very own Arlene Joy Paredes. It's
Okay, thank you.
all
And
via Zoom.
oh, yes, via Zoom. And we have more upcoming CPD events from June to August. We have Earned Value Management Workshop, Carbon Cost Calculation, Diversity
Wow.
and Inclusion, Contract Administration and Management, the FIDIC series, Facilities and Asset Management, and several iconic projects. And the KSA is very booming nowadays. They have a lot of
Yeah.
projects. So for those who are eyeing on going to Kingdom of
KSA.
Saudi Arabia for a job to challenge yourself and be part of the Giga projects there, keep in touch. Keep in Okay, that's it for our ads on the global CPD. So Miss Berna, I think you're back. Yes.
I think there's a delay in the
There's a delay, no?
incoming and yeah.
Mhm.
Hello?
Hello. Yes, but it's a good thing that the presentation is already completed and we were able to
Yeah.
get the picture of the whole presentation, which is very informative. So, for those who would like to be mentored by our very own Miss Bernadette Magsumbol, she's a mentor. She mentors APC candidates as well. So, it's not
Yes.
a plug, but you have to um, reach out to
Reach
her
out.
and check her schedule. Yeah, but she's a very what do you go very welcoming person, and she's open to she's very willing to share her knowledge and time. So maybe Diane, do you already have a counselor? Okay, we are just going to check whether we can have Miss Badette
Yes,
in
I'm
a
back.
while. Oh, there.
So,
It's on and
where
off.
do I start again?
Oh, there. Okay, we can hear you now.
Yes, you can
Where
continue.
do I start?
Now we are at the point of
The delay.
sharing APC tips.
Yeah, there's a delay. Hello.
Yes, you can continue on sharing with the APC tips.
You can ask questions. You can send questions if. Mhm.
Wow, okay. Actually, we have some comments here from Gilmar Dexter Bureau. Hi, watching from KSA and interested to pursue QS
Really?
knowledge development.
Because
Wow. See, it's not yet the end of our program, and you are inspiring people to get to know more about the QS knowledge development. It's
Development.
Gilmar. We're congratulating you to um, challenge yourself, as you
Mhm.
And
challenge
if you
yourself.
have questions on the model, feel free to send me an email.
Yes. Okay. Okay, you can get in touch with Miss Bernadette here through LinkedIn. You can also reach out to us, Diane and Arlene. You can add us in LinkedIn if you want to know more about being a member of PICQS or anybody. We have a Facebook page and we have the LinkedIn PICQS page as well. So when you access the website, you there's an online form that you can submit for those who are not yet members of
On the spot,
PSC.
PICQS. Correct. Because Diane, the structured trainings is only for PICQS members, right?
Yes, exclusive for PICQS members.
Yes. Because do you know why? What do you think
Why?
is the reason why
Oh,
it is
why?
exclusive to PICQS members, the structured training? What's your thought about it?
mhm.
Because
Oh,
there
I
are
can
a
hear
lot
you
of
simula kanina. Don't put me on the spot.
It's okay,
y-
Miss Badette. I
Okay.
think your network is like on and off.
yeah,
Maybe
Oh,
you can leave us the message through the chat.
mhm.
It's okay. Then we'll
we
read
are
it.
on the APC
Give me a
tips
few
na po.
minutes.
Yes.
Can you
Okay.
hear us?
There's a delay. Once
Yes.
she can hear everything that we say, but there's a delay. Okay.
In
So, Glenn,
receiving and
going back to the question, why
going
do you
back to the
think that
why do I
PI?
think it's offered only for exclusive for members? Because I think
Yes,
uh as we
Mhm.
mentioned last time that it's
Oh,
paying
salamat.
forward, right? So since
Because I
PICQS
can
mold
influence. Give me
I think
another
I'm
minute.
disrupting Miss Bernadette's statement already.
it's okay.
Hello?
Ayan.
Is she typing anything?
Di
Because
po.
I want to continue my answer.
Not yet. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so because yeah, it paying forward. So since our members or our mentors were also uh, uh, a fruit of PICQS structured training, I think it's better if we also share them within the PICQS. So it's for the love of PICQS. So
Correct.
do you have any other
That's a
reasoning
nice
behind that?
That's a nice point. Another thing is, when you enter PICQS, don't just enter for or don't just be a member for the sake of access to global CPD. The
Yes,
CPDs are open to both members and
members and
non-members
non-members.
alike. And if you're going to for the structured training, um, my take on it is you go for it until the end, until you
Yes,
finish, until we become corporate members. That's the main goal of being a PICQS member, and
member.
we're about we're about
I
to
can
reach
hear
that.
you
We're trying
from
Yeah.
the
every
start. No? Mhm.
correct.
I can hear you from the start, but I don't know what's happening with my connection.
Okay, so it's okay, Miss Badette. What we're going to try now is we're going to remove you for a moment from the studio. Then you can
Then try
try
to reconnect
logging in. Yes. Okay.
there. Okay. So let's try
Hmm.
it
Okay.
again
Yep.
once more on a
So and
later
then
date.
yes, we will wait for Miss Bernadette to come back, and let's try and answer some more questions here. We have from Angelo Eda, how to join PICQS po. Go ahead, Dan.
Yes. So on PICQS website, picqs.org, go to the membership page. I think it's picqs.org/membership. So there's an online form. Just fill it up and click submit. Then you will receive an email from our office assistant regarding your interview schedule. So she will be the one to assign the date, or if and you will check with you if you are available on that timing, because I think peak time is having a problem this past few months already, so
Yes.
we cannot book on peak time. So it's
Mhm.
manually assigned to all the members who just recently joined PICQS.
Correct. So if I may share my screen so they can see what the website looks
Mm,
like. So here it is. Because if some are having difficulties like accessing, but we are revamping the PICQS website
yes. Watch
for the
out.
information of everybody and so about us. Then you can actually click on the little icon here. So and just you can just play around the website itself and look for register now or be a member
Yes.
now.
Yes.
It should be here somewhere. I don't there.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned it's
It's in the middle.
piqs.org/membership. It's the fastest
Okay.
route.
It's the fastest route. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy and paste it in the
Chat.
comment
Yes.
box so you can easily access it and direct you to this link here of apply now, this one.
Yes.
So
Apply
once you
now and
click this
become a
one,
member.
there will be to open and prompt you to the online form, which you just have to upload together with your credentials, and voila, you will be directed to the picking of schedule for the interview. And
Yes.
our interviewers are from anywhere around the globe.
Global.
So they could be from
Yes.
US, Canada, they could be from UAE, from KSA, from Philippines, from Singapore.
Singapore.
So, and to those people
Depending on
who,
the availability of our
correct,
global
depend,
interviewers.
you know what, from those that I have interviewed, most of, I mean, some of them have comments like, it's it's like having another structured training, or
Mm.
when they get interviewed, they feel like they're
Yes.
undergoing a seminar.
I
So,
remember earlier I had one who I interviewed. He's already he started enrolling in the PTT. So I think
hmm,
PTT is now on week 4 if I
wow,
remember it
yes,
right.
yes.
Yeah. And then he's saying that yes, we already tackled that one on our P3T, but he's saying that it's more clearer as we go along with the interview, and they are really
Wow.
thankful about that. Yeah, it's really nice about.
It's a nice feeling as well. I mean, to
Yes, that we
influence and be able to share something to
our
the
new
guys or the people
members.
that are new members. And we have one more comment, question. Hi, Miss Paredes, how can I register for CPD on April 15? Okay, you can get in touch with the chapter that you're in, or through the website as well. We have the
Or if they're already posting from our social media
correct
platforms, our Facebook and LinkedIn pages, we will post the link to register there and just fill it up and pay the necessary fees for the CPD. I think it's around 250 for members
members.
and 300 for non-members. And
Yes,
we also accept
correct.
students.
And of course, students is I think 150.
Yes.
Okay, so do access our visit our official LinkedIn page or Facebook page. In the ad of for the CPD on April 15, there will be a link there for you to fill up the form and then pay the registration fee and
Registration.
upload it in the form as well. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, here's our Mr. Joe M.
Wow.
Emila Valdesco all the way from New Zealand. Wow. Very
Yes.
informative
One of
very
our
wow. Eh,
thank
I remember
you.
having him in Patch previously. He was
Oh,
one of our guests in Patch before. Okay, it's nice to have you back and nice to see you here in Patch Live now in LinkedIn. Okay, I think we
yes.
have Miss Bernadette back. Miss Bernadette,
Hi, I'm
Yes.
yes,
back.
You're really back.
I'm back.
I'm back.
Okay.
Okay, so let me just share my screen. Can you,
Okay,
okay, let me just see my screen again. Share screen. Share screen in progress.
nice. Okay, so there, I received the prompt. There. Okay.
This will be just a quick 5 slides lang. Quick tips lang. General
Go
tips.
ahead.
Okay, so we'll start. Okay, so I'm going to give you here the RICS slash APC tips. And the tips that my tips are basically first from personal experience and as an APC mentor and as a prelim assessor of the RICS. Okay, so we start with the general writing tips. We all know about we all know about KISS, right? The KISS, KSSS. It's like keep it short and simple. So I have to modify it to make it KISS's principle, which I always do whenever I write. So KISS's mean keep it straight, like straight to the point. No use of going around the bush, being too wordy, and then short. Short, not the literal short, but short meaning um, using keeping the
Concise.
word count.
Hmm.
Yes,
Concise
correct.
and making sure you're still within the word count. And then simple. We're not doing word gymnastics, so you have to just use simple English. Don't use any
It's really cute
jargon.
to
Just
use the
simple English.
ESN,
Not a lot. ESN. The N
the
in
E for
simple.
the kisses as N,
Ah,
short and
as N.
simple.
Uh, Uh, so always use the kisses principle. Straight to the point, short, meaning you're within the word count, and make it simple. We're not going to any more gymnastics competition, so just use basic English, professional at least. Okay. Next is you have to understand if you understand the model and you use the model verbs, it will be easier for you to write your statement of experience. Right? You define, you describe, you enumerate, you price, you justify, you evaluate. So those are the things that will help that will guide you when you write your SOEs. Then ensure balance in writing. When I say ensure balance of writing, some candidates would just to make up for the, for example, 1,500 mandatory word count competencies.
Mhm.
Some candidates will use 500 words for level one because they know a lot of level one, and then level two, for example, would just be 100 words. Or for competent or for core competencies, 1,000 words only for a specific competency, sign economics, and then the rest are just 200, 300. You have to find balance in everything. So you have to make sure that even though it's just say 200, for example, 200 words for level one, 300 words for level two, and 500, between 3 to 500 words for level three. Because level three that is where you're going to be assessed at level three. You're not going to be assessed at level one. And if the assessor will see that level one is 500 words and level three is only 100 words, that means you have not achieved anything because you cannot write anything, diba? So you have to find balance, okay? And yes, then next, of course, check for structure. When I say check for structure, it's like leading your assessor, your reader to a story. You read a story, you read an article, you read a news article, or you need a journal. It's leading you to a story. You start from the introduction, it builds up, you give the background, what's happening, until you get to your conclusion, what happened, what's your recommendation. Some candidates would they don't know how to structure. So you have to read like three, four, 5 times just to be able to understand. And you have to speak to them, discuss with them in person. What is really what that you want, and what you really want to convey in your case study or in statement of summary of experience or statement of competencies. You have to check. That's why it's important. You have to check for structure. But when I say check for structure, you can. Uh, this is where your mentor comes in. So initially, maybe you can just have bullet points, but when you're trying to draft, have seek the help of your mentor to assist you. And then the usual check for spelling, punctuation, and grammar. No, we need to do spell checks and meron namang grammar checks sa Word, di ba? Or sometimes you can use the Grammarly app to check your grammar. And you can ask other people to also have a read dun sa draft nyo. Sabihin, the third party doesn't have to be a technical person. It's only that they would understand, even if they're not technical, they would be able to understand, quote unquote, your story or your case study. Check for accuracy, clarity, and level of detail. Also, this is where your mentor would come in to assist you. The level of detail. Are you hitting the target? Are you hitting the level 3 competency? Are you able to showcase in writing your level 3, level 2, or level 3? Is it clear? It's clear enough for them to say that, okay, this candidate has achieved level 3 or level 2. Okay, so that's just for the general writing tips. Now, for case study preparation, I always say check and listen to your gut. When I say check and listen to your gut, say, when you're already preparing for your APC or you have plans of taking your APC, most likely you've already developed these critical thinking skills. You know, when you have a certain issue with your project, you try to think about the issue, what should be the solution, or what are the options available, because you don't work just based on what your say your immediate superior or your senior QS would tell you to do, like, okay, do this, do a math check. Don't limit yourself to that. You have to be able to critically analyze your project, what are the issues involved, and then if you think that there's something useful or something that you can pick up from an issue in your project, then list it down, grab a pen and paper, and jot everything down. Have a diary. Doesn't it just have to be in bullet points? And then also choose your case study type. When I say choose your case study type, is it about like a cause and effect
Ay,
or
break summary.
how and what to do? Oh, wow.
There's a technical
Okay.
glitch. Hold on.
Okay. Okay. So when I say
Okay.
cause and effect, parang yung example ko kanina nung aking case study na because the employer has instructed the contractor to follow a certain payment application procedure, it has affected the contractor's cash flow and the consultant's resources. So because of that effect, then what are your options to uh, address the concerns of the employer? We have to remember, well, I know that the employer has instructed a specific methodology because there's some uh, what do you call it? There are some issues that he needs to address. That's why. That's the reason for
Mhm.
his instruction. Pero because of this cause and effect, then what are the options available that can be made available if the same thing happens? Because eventually hindi yun siya nasunod eh. Meron talagang pinanindigan na ng employer kung ano yung ano niya, yung method niya. So in this kung if the same thing will happen in the future, at least you know what are the options available and
Yes.
options available, then you can recommend. And on the case, and then on next is the how and what to do. When you say how and what to do, it's like a good example will be contract termination. Okay, if the contractor's been terminated, what will you do? So it's a big issue, right? So kung the contractor's been terminated, issues would be probably about how you're going to deal with the subcontractors.
Yes.
What will be how do you now identify or establish what's the balance of work against
Correct.
the works that's been done? How do you split? How do you price? So you just have to check and you can part of that you can list and then see what specific issue you want to address based on the contract termination issue. The main issue is contract termination, and the effect is when you want to discuss about the payment, how you're going to price the remaining works. So that's how to do it or what to do. yun yung basic parang structure ng case study. And then collect evidence and make notes. Always make notes. So when you try to put together the case study, you all have the backups because your mentor would ask you, oh, because your mentor is normally not involved naman dun sa project mo. For example, yung may isang candidate na tinulungan ko, dalawa kami, nasa contracting side siya. Wala akong experience sa contracting side, so mas hirap sa akin para intindihin, pumunta dun sa position niya na makakatulong ako para ma-resolve yung issues niya. So I need information. So that's where this handy notes, yung mga will come in handy, all the notes that you've taken. And then you evaluate all the collected information. Will this be sufficient, or will this information help me to proceed with my case study? Baka naman hindi, kulang pa. So, list all the information in bullet points and
Correct.
try to rearrange them based on what's required. Say, for the background, you write the project name, completion date, period, form of contract, and what are the key issues, your options, recommended solutions.
Correct. And don't forget to
And,
get consent.
hindi, in addition yun, syempre, ang basic is
Mhm.
you comply with the RICS or APC, PICQS requirements. Okay. And and then start the process of elimination. So you have lots of key issues, but sometimes one key issue, there'll be further issues or sub issues, so it will not be possible to uh, prepare a 300-word count case study because it's one issue after another. So this is where the process of elimination comes in. And then you have to review and reflect with your mentor, your counselor, or a colleague probably can discuss with them. Then you can create the draft narrative and then review and feedback. My suggestion is when you have done the draft, like very initial draft, you can ask some people, maybe two or three, to ask them, okay, what's your feedback? Grammar, structure, basic,
Mhm.
and then you go back to your counselor and can discuss. Minsan may danger kasi na ang tendency, ang initial na advice din sa amin dati, give it to as many people as possible. Pero delikado ka doon kasi different people, say, different counselors will have a different appreciation of your case study. So they might have a different view of how you will do things and then the other was different. So, sino ngayon na susundin mo? Diba? So you have to have faith in your mentor that your mentor will, or your counselor will guide you through after getting some small feedbacks, but not generally the feedback on your case study. The structure, grammar, punctuation, etc. Syntax. So that's for the case study. And then you have to remember your case study is not about how big or small your involvement was or is in the project. So don't have this idea of, okay, I can't do my case study because I'm not the project manager. I'm only an AQS. I'm only a QS. If you've developed a critical thinking, if you're curious enough, and you're really interested to become chartered, every little thing you're sensitive to all the little things that's happening in your project. Right? And so hindi necessarily na dapat commercial director ka o commercial manager ka para lang makapagkaroon ng case study. It's not how big or small in terms of value the project was or is. So you can be involved in a 13 million peso or 13 million real villa, or your colleague will be involved in a 100 million FIFA stadium. So both are okay. It doesn't have to be. I should be involved only in the FIFA stadium project, and I can use that for my case study because villa is nothing. No, definitely they're the same. It's just different project, but it's going to be the same. It's not important how big or small. Then degree of difficulty. Again, the degree of difficulty, of course, if when you're talking about the FIFA stadium versus a villa, the FIFA's more issues definitely, and more issues, difficult, and but it's not about the degree of difficulty. So your case study should be about the right application of QSing principles. When quantity surveying principle applies even to a villa or to a FIFA stadium. So it's not about the project, type of project. It's the right application of quantity surveying principles. And then your case study should show your thinking, reasoning skills. Whether it's a villa or a FIFA stadium, it's the same. You should be able to showcase your critical thinking skills, and you should have confidence in the choices presented. If you're asked about the options and you're not sure, then if you ask about the options during APC, the options you've presented or the recommendation that you've made, and the assessor can easily pick up that you're not confident with the choices. Sometimes your choices are just written just so you have choices, just so that you have options. You're not even sure, you don't even agree with the options you've presented. So it's important you have confidence in the choices you've made and you've presented. And lastly, you have to have faith in your own work. So if you don't believe in your own work, then who else will? It will reflect during the APC interview. So that's it. I guess that's it for my APC tips, and I hope you'll find what we've discussed, what other discussed today, very helpful and enriching, and help you develop more and go for the chartership. That's it. Thank
Sorry. Then,
Yes, hopefully, right?
then I think the last line got stuck. Miss Bernadette, what was
you
what
have
is
faith in your own work.
yes? Have faith in your own work, and then the line. What was
Last
the
year,
line?
remain last.
Do your APC.
Have faith in your own work.
Proceed and do your own APC.
Proceed. I think your audio, then is quite low.
It's it's on my head.
My audio.
It's on top here. So I need to move it down. So the quality of my headphones is really nice because it
I
has
see it.
noise reduction. But I'm really sorry about earlier. Okay. So
So
The APC
that's
tips
it
is
for the APC tip.
thank you so much. Thank you very much,
yes.
Miss Bernadette. Yes, the APC tips is something that we can bring in and incorporate in our writing. We have to be mindful of about this, especially about the case study. That it's not about
Mm-mm.
how big or small. It's not about how
Yes.
extravagant the project is, giga project, mega project, or even you're just building or doing A&A or
Yeah, it's about the
guardhouse.
involvement, your
Correct.
involvement in the
As
project.
long as you can apply and show that you have applied the QS principle, it's something that that's why it's a standard method of uh, practicing the profession. Because if you can demonstrate it and you can write about it and you're confident that you're part of it and you have done the job ethically, then just write it out. And yes, the last time is have faith in your work, of course. Correct. So, Diane, it's a call for us to
It's
to
the
continue.
bell
It's
to
a very
go.
wake up
It's the
call.
green signal to go.
Yes, it's a go signal. Thank you very much, Miss Bernadette. Yeah, we had a few technical glitches there, but
Mm,
it was worth the wait. And this APC tips is something that we a very good takeaway for all of us who are watching
yes.
tonight and who will be watching us in the future, as this recording will be shown and will be there in our YouTube channel,
And
Patch with PICQS. Please do give it a like, a share, and a subscribe.
subscribe.
And in our LinkedIn page also, so it will be recorded there. We have a comment from Mr. Ronald Alquizola. I will not show it in the screen, but rest assured that I have relayed your message to the KSA chapter, and they will be in touch with you on regarding your concern. Okay. Thank you very much, everyone, for the watch, for being with us, and I hope and I believe you have gained something from our patch session tonight. Yeah. So, Miss Bernadette, as
Okay,
we
thank you.
close, I would like to share with them your quotable quote, and here it goes. Okay, I prepared this
Yes.
2 second quotable quote, no? Very, very precise. Learn, unlearn,
Unlearn
and
and relearn.
relearn. So I feel like I'm being Alanis Morissette for a while. Okay, so thank you very much, Miss Bernadette, for your time. We had a
Thank
very
you.
informative and very motivating session for tonight's patch.
And engaging as well, right?
And
We have a
yes,
lot
very
of
engaging.
comments, live comments on the chat or comment section.
Yes. So as we close, we would like to hear a word from you, like your final message to our viewers and to the APC candidates out there, and also to the mentors, your fellow mentors who are also paying it forward to the APC candidates.
Well, for the members, for our members, what I can say is that you have to make use of your of what PICQS is offering. You know, maximize what PICQS is offering now. Because really, it's very good. It's a very good training program, and it will help you a lot if you really want to become a chartered surveyor or a certified surveyor. Imagine every one of us has 24 hours in a day. So it's just a matter of how you spend your time to get to where you want to be if you want to get chartered. You
Wow.
cannot say you don't have time because everyone's got 24 hours a day. So it's a matter of how you manage your time and find a way to if you
Squeeze
really
it
want to
in.
get chartered.
Couldn't agree more. So
Mm.
let's hear it from Diane.
Yes. Maybe thank you so much, Miss Bernadette, for sharing with us your APC journey. And actually, the development model that you have shared earlier will surely help our members, or maybe even myself, on doing our SOEs. And the tips you provided for the case study preparation and write ups are valuable, especially the part about what your case study is or not about. Yeah, I would also like to thank you, AJ, for inviting me as your co-host for today's patch session. It's really nice to be with you here tonight, and it's something new, aside from our typical Ian sessions. And yeah, and I hope we have a lot of more patch and Ian sessions to come. Yes, thank you.
Yes. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in and
Thank
for
you.
watching. And yes, yes, Miss Bernadette. Oh,
No, no, thank you.
okay.
Just thank you. And thank you for this
Okay.
opportunity.
Yes, it's really nice and it's really great to have you and for gracing us with your time and sharing with us this model that you have developed for our fellow APC candidates. So it's never too late. Once you set your mind to it, just do it. Somebody actually, one of our guests here in Patch also mentioned, when it's done, it's done. So you just have to pick
Mm.
up your pen and then start writing or ponder on it. What case study do you think you should have? Yes, and we'll see you in the next patch session. So keep in touch, and thank you very much for all the participants today in our chat box. For those who have been sending us private messages, we will be attending to your concerns, and we will respond to you. In the meantime, you can reach PICQS, and you will be routed to the proper channel if it's a membership concern or if it's a CPD concern. You can just drop a message in our Facebook page or our LinkedIn page, and you will be the person in charge will be responding to your concern. Okay,
Yes.
so Thank you once again and see you in our next patch session. Good night, everyone. Thank
Good
you.
night.
Bye.
Bye.
For the 11th patch session, join your hosts AJ Paredes and Diane Bauzon as they feature one of the corporate members of PICQS, Miss Bernadette Magsumbol. All the way from Qatar, she will unravel her APC Competency Development Model, a self-assessment tool for aspiring certified and chartered professionals. Are you ready to test yourself? All these and more on Saturday, 2nd April, 8 p.m. Manila time. See you!